Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us tonight. We are joined by Bailey Lynch from St. Joseph Healthcare. Bailey, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Can you start off by explaining a little bit about what you do at St. Joseph?
Yeah, so I work in the laboratory there, and I'm the microbiology supervisor, and we are really just taking care of patients, doing the lab work, and making sure the doctors get the right results.
Okay, and speaking of that lab work, as I understand it, this week is Lab Week. Can you tell me a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, so Lab Week is just a week every year, April 20th to 26th, where we're really just celebrating lab techs. And making sure that they kind of are seen. We're normally hidden, so it's really cool to get out there and actually show what we do and educate people.
And tell us a little bit, what is it you guys do? Because as you said, it's often behind the scenes. We don't really know what's going on back there.
Yeah, so we're running tests to help providers make diagnoses and change patient treatments depending on the lab results they get. So it's really, I think it's important, the work that we do.
And how does that work kind of impact the patient experience?
Yeah, so it's really just like giving patients results sooner so that they can get the right care and just provide better patient care. Yeah.
And St. Joseph, as I understand it, is in a really great position right now because that lab work, it's done locally, it's done here in Bangor, and like you said before, it's faster to get those results to people, which can mean a world of a difference. Can you tell me more about why it's important that we have these labs in Bangor and what that does?
Yeah, so I'm super passionate about that because I really like that St. Joe's is really all about community. So keeping the lab work in the community is super helpful. It just makes sure patients can get the results quicker. They're not waiting weeks to get results, and then the doctors can give them better care and just care quicker. So patients aren't waiting, and we're just really taking care of the community.
So this can really ensure that people are getting that care that they need as soon as possible to make sure that they make the recoveries that they need. Can you tell me a little bit more about kind of the behind the scenes of all this lab work, the work that you guys are doing? What does that mean for you guys?
So we have the phlebotomists that are drawing the patient's blood, and then we have lab processors that are kind of making sure the sample's all good and ready for the lab techs. And then the lab techs, we're just doing the testing. So we're running instruments and micro, we're growing bacteria and telling the provider what antibiotics to use. And then we have blood banks, so if a patient needs a transfusion, we're testing the blood to make sure it's compatible.
A lot of hands at work back there. So this is Lab Week. How do we recognize you guys? How do we let you guys know that you're doing the great job you're doing?
Just thank a phlebotomist or lab professionals in general. I just think it's important that people know there is more than just phlebotomy and the providers, but there's people behind the scenes really working to do some testing and get the results out.
That's some amazing work. Thank you so much for being here tonight. After the break, we will have more of your local news. Stay with us.